Okay, if the thunderstorms hold off, I'll go ahead and work out here in the shop for a bit. Go ahead and get the chassis out of the cabinet so we can take a look at it. Looks like it's in pretty good shape, but we'll have a better idea once I get this thing removed. You can see the label here on the underneath side of the chassis for the GD-63. And you've got a row of trimmers here as well for the push button assignments. Looks like we've got 3 fasteners that hold the chassis in to the cabinet. Let me get those removed. 1 more to go. And 1 more. It's really not a dial lamp, but a dial lamp indicator. You can see it's kind of red in color up here. And it's secured to the chassis with 1 fastener here. The end fasteners, not the one in the middle, look how they're secured. It's a little hook. Very unusual. 1 loose tube in here. The 25L6. Okay, I think I've got this thing to break loose now. I think this is probably an asbestos pad. I'll treat it as such on the bottom side. So I can wet that down and get it out of the space that I'm working in. All right, I've got the pad nice and wet now. Yep, somebody's definitely done some work in here. Let me clean up the rest of the remaining insulation here that was on the underneath side. All right, let's take a closer look at the chassis. Looks pretty clean, just a little bit of rust. Some frayed wiring there at that location. But in pretty good shape considering the age, again dating back to 1939. We'll get the remaining tubes out in a future video and document those just to make sure they're in the right location. Looks like the drums for the tuning capacitor condenser here, in addition to the volume control on this side, they just pull on and off. I went on and put a little WD-40 in on this side on the shaft, and I've started to work it loose. Pretty neat to have these in place. You can see the way they're made and laid out. Let me give this one just a little shot of WD-40 as well and pull it off. And there we have the on-off and volume. Pretty cool. Alright, let's get these tubes out one by one, and then I'll compare that to the schematic diagram. Alright, the 25Z5 rectifier. This is probably the 6A8, because you can see it going back to the antenna coil. And there we have it, 6 alpha 8G. The 6K7. Alright, let me see if I can get this grid connection here loose. The grid lead here has been replaced most likely at one point in time. You can see it's a black lead and it's wedged down in here. I'll just replace it, and for now I'm going to just snip it here. Okay, that tube is definitely wedged in here, so I'll set that aside. We'll work on it later. This is the 25L6 that was loose. And lastly should be the ballast tube. And there it is, the BL49. We'll test it as well. There's a good look at the chassis, what you would expect to see, just a little rust on top. Again, 1939. Definitely has some age on it, but looks like we're in pretty good shape. The push buttons here just a little stiff as well. Give them just a little shot of WD-40. Some rust on the control stems coming out. Let that soak in for a minute and see if I can pull these off. There's the first button to the far right, labeled as manual. All the other buttons have no indication or no nomenclature. Okay, the knobs were on there pretty tight, but I got them off without breaking one. I'll set them off to the side. We'll give them a nice cleanup. Again, the manual is over to the far right if the nomenclature is correct. And if you look close, you'll see the frayed wires here for the dial lamp itself. I always love this. Looks like the line cord itself was inspected in 1937. And here's a good look underneath the chassis. You can see some of the capacitors have been replaced at some point in time. You can see the coil method was used. Looks like a nice repair. Restore was done at some point in time. I do see some rubber wire underneath. In this area around probably the rectifier tube where the insulation's frayed, and then you can see around the tuning areas itself. So I've got some storms moving in. I'll just ponder on maybe taking this board out. Two fasteners on the front, and then it's riveted in from the back itself. I may pull it out just to get better access to the other wiring to inspect it. So more to come soon, folks. Thanks for watching. Oh, the one tube was wedged up in here. Finally got it removed. The 6Q7.